Welcome back to the Relius Reviews. Today's review is focused on 2022 movie entitled Ultrasound. And the official synopsis of Ultrasound is, after his car breaks down, Glenn spends one hell of an odd night with a married couple, setting into motion a chain of events that alter their lives, plus those of several random strangers. And before I give out my review, please like and subscribe and comment, or just watch the video and keep on moving. If I had to describe this movie in a few different words, I would say Ultrasound is mind-boggling, mind frick of a movie, and just crazy when you look at everything that happens. And so here we go. Now I would say the first things that I liked about this movie was that this movie was just straight up weird in a very good way. Like, this movie was just extremely weird to me with how they decide to take things into route. Like, the story itself was interesting. Like, it just starts off like a different movie to me, with Glenn just trying to find some help in order to like get his car fixed early in the morning. But then after this crazy night, this girl that was at this house is somehow pregnant in a way. And after that, it just opens up like a whole mind freak, just a whole cluster of just confusion, and just it just questions you, as this movie definitely did have a lot of things that just raises just a lot of questions that I had about some of the scenes, as you just saw two of the same things, but you did not know whether or not what was really real, what was really like the true scene. Like in one scene, this person just getting out of the pool, just getting dressed and everything, she's not pregnant. Another scene, another mirror, she's pregnant. Like, this movie just made you just question things in a way, like asking yourself, like, wait a minute, is this true or is this true? Or just things like the psychological warfare that was included when it came to the hypnosis, the frequency audio waves. Like, this movie to me was extremely weird, but I really did enjoy it for how weird and quirky that it was. Now, when it comes to the performances of this movie, I felt like all of the main actors that was in here, they all did a good job. Vincent Carter as Glenn, Chelsea Lopez as Cindy, Brenda Wool as Shannon, and Tude Abdi Bimp as Dr. Connors. They were all interesting characters, and they all had their own motives and purposes, with Glenn and Cindy just trying to figure out exactly what is going on right now, as their mind is in like a daze of confusion. Dr. Connors with his shady ways of just trying to get frequency audio waves, and just Shannon trying to figure out exactly what's going on as well. Like, all the characters to me was just unique, crazy, and all of them just trying to figure out the truth of what's really going on here. The cinematography was fine, it was good, and as well as just the color scheme and palette that was included with this movie. Like, it definitely did have a few interesting scenes of choice, and the color waves, the color schemes that was in here, I think it all worked at the very end as well. There was a few somewhat disturbing scenes in here. Nothing extremely disturbing, but just like disturbing imagery with one of the scenes that happens when someone that's pregnant, and what they do is just freaky. Like, it's just extremely freaky in a way. When it comes to some of the things that I did not like about this movie, I would say some of the things that I did not like was that I felt like there was some parts of the movie that it did drag out just a little bit, as like nothing was really happening, and things was just starting to like lose its steam that it was building up to. Another thing that I did not like about this movie was that there was at times where I felt like things was just a little bit too confusing. Like, you really have to pay attention when you're watching this movie, because if you're just on your phone throughout the entire movie, everything is not going to make sense. Like some things was just a little bit too confusing, was just a little bit too like out of it. Like what's happening? Like what? Like what's this? But yeah, I would say that out of all, Ultrasound as a movie, it works for the things that it was trying to execute. It is extremely mind-boggling, a mind frick of a movie with crazy characters trying to figure out the truth. And the conclusion, honestly, being pretty good when you look at it. And how I would rate Ultrasound out of 5 stars. I would rate Ultrasound maybe 3.5 stars out of 5. So thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.